Alright YouTube, so today I'm gonna do an install video on the Perrin heat shield and then also the OEM upper heat shield bracket. I picked both of these up on Facebook Marketplace for 65 bucks for both, which is a really good deal. So the tools you're gonna need for this install, I got a 14mm socket and a 14mm wrench, and then I also have an Allen key that fits the hardware that goes onto the downpipe. Pretty simple install, so let's get into it. All right, so I am running a turbo blanket, so we're just gonna remove those two bolts right there, and then we're gonna slip that turbo bracket right behind the downpipe in between those two bolts, and then we'll get the heat shield. The parent bracket. So let me take those bolts off, and then I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so this is what the bracket should look like. So those two bolts back there hold the bracket to the back of the downpipe, and then you have your two holes right here and right down there, and that's where the Perrin heat shield bolts up to. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put all the intercooler piping back on, and then we'll throw on the Perrin heat shield on top of this. And then I'll show you what it all looks like when it comes together. All right, so what I ended up doing was I just do the heat shield bracket on now before the intercooler piping, only because it was just a little bit easier to reach these bolts here on the side and the bolt down here. So if I bring this light over, it mounts using these two small bolts and washers here. And then one more, let's see how I can get this camera. Probably should be able to zoom in a little bit. It's down there somewhere, if it focuses. It's not gonna focus, but it's down there. Super easy to get to it from down here. Yeah, it's down there. So I just figured with the intercooler piping off, it'd just be a lot easier to get to those. So now I'm going to put the intercooler piping back on, and then that's it. The install is all complete. All right, so this is what the final product looks like. We got the Perrin heat shield installed, and then we have the turbo blanket right underneath that, and then we got the intercooler piping all hooked back up. So here's a better view of the Perrin turbo shield. Looks good. Pretty simple install, but yep, that's pretty much it, guys.